All right, we're live. Hey, how you guys doing? Do a little sound check real quick. I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar with Hero Jr. I've been an Orange user for about 8.5 years now. And yeah, let's just quick check. If anybody could just write in the comments if the sound is clear and not overloading your little laptop speakers. So all right, I'm gonna take that as we're all good to go here. Like I said, I'm Ken Rose. Welcome to Orange Hangs. We do this every Monday at 4 o'clock Eastern. And hey Jay, how you doing, man? Every Monday, 4 o'clock Eastern and 9 o'clock p.m. UK time. Hope you guys are all good. Hope you had a good weekend. I am, like I said last week, I got food in my mouth. I moved the laptop over to the other room in the studio, and now I can play through my normal band rig, which I got a lot of questions about. So my normal band rig, and this is for recording and touring, is an OR50. I've had this since the beginning of my relationship with Orange about 8.5 years ago. I'm using a PPC 212 cabinet. I've had both of these pieces of gear since the beginning, and they've been perfect. They've worked great for me. Just tube changes and nothing major. And I love this rig. And I've got my pedal board, which, all right, I'm going to try this. It's probably going to be upside down, but this is going to be, yeah, let's try it. So here's my pedal board. This is a mess right now, but it's kind of always a mess. I'm not really meticulous with my cables or anything like that. I've got a Memory Man from the end of the 80s, I think. I've got a 70s Phase 90. I've got an Echo Park Clean Boost, and that's white, and it's the dustiest thing on there. I've got vintage Big Muff Green Russian. I'm using a Crimson, which I just got, which is really close sounds to the Muff. Echoplex from Jim Dunlop, CAE Wah, and this cool little thing here, which I just got from Echo Park the other day. It's called the Nightmare Delay Fuzz. So I haven't really even played that one. And yeah, I don't use a whole lot of pedals, but every now and then for color, I really like them. Hey, everybody that's tuning in late, welcome. I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar with the rock band Hero Jr. We're doing our weekly Orange Hangs every Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time and 9 o'clock UK time. You can check out the band, my band that I have with my friends, on Instagram on @HeroJr. That's HeroJr. And www.herojuniormusic.com online. We're just about ready to mix our new album, which we recorded here in the studio. So I'm really excited for everybody to hear that. It's really cool. I'm playing today a custom shop Les Paul 1960s reissue, and I've got Pariah T-type pickups in there. I love these pickups, as I say every week, but I really do love them, and I'm playing this guitar more and more as opposed to my vintage Les Paul, and yeah, I'm really liking this. So this, I'm just going straight in. I'm at really low volume because of the microphone on the laptop. I'm on about a little less than 10 o'clock, and I'm not using a whole lot of the treble boost on the amp. I'm at about 10 o'clock, and the gain's at about 12 o'clock, and EQ's straight up. And yeah, this is what it sounds like on this guitar. And yeah, like I always say, this really is that's a good question. I love SGs. Actually, my very first electric guitar was an SG with P90 pickups in it. And I love that guitar, but I don't know. SGs are cool. They're really great guitars, and I mean, obviously, Angus Young and so many other great guitar players play them. But for me, there's something about the way this guitar sits, like how a Les Paul sits on me, and I guess I'm really sensitive anyway to feel way more than technique or technology or what people say is best. I'm a total feel person, and I'm so much of a feel person that when I first got this guitar from Gibson, I was wearing it at rehearsal, and it's like, man, it's the exact same guitar, and everything is totally right. It sounds good, everything's cool, but it's feeling really weird. And I was talking to my friend Steve Rose, who is much more knowledgeable about guitars than I am, actually. And he said, "Did you ever try changing the pins, the strap lock pins?" And I thought, no. And so I did that, and I measured my other Les Paul, and I changed the pins to the exact same position, and now the guitar feels great. And it's like, I would have never, ever, ever thought of that. So thank you, Steve, for giving me a new lease on a new guitar. But yeah, SGs, great guitars. Let's see, maybe I'm gonna have an SG around here. I think it's a while coming, but I think one's gonna come, and when I have one, I'll definitely do the orange hangs with an SG, because sitting down, it's a whole different ball game. But when I'm standing up and on stage, it really makes a difference how the guitar feels. And so, yeah, but that's a good question. I want to hear how Gabriel's pedal sounds. So anyway, this pedal, from what I have read so far, it's called the Nightmare Fuzz. It's got killer artwork on it. It's a dual stage fuzz, and the first stage apparently is exactly the same stage as my clean boost. So it should be a clean boost and a fuzz in one. So I'm gonna try the clean boost first, because I've had my clean boost forever and I love that. So here's just straight up like normal. All right, now I'm gonna try. Where did I put that? My pedalboard here. So here's without and with. Pretty close. Let me check that out against my normal. Yeah, so that's really cool. So the reason that I really like the clean boost that Echo Park Guitar does is because I love my orange sound, obviously. Many dollars for an SG, for what? Didn't catch that one. So I've been sold on my OR50 sound, and so I am really picky what effects that I put in front of it, only because it sounds so good on its own. And if I had to, I mean, there was there have been gigs where my pedal board's gone down and I've played the whole show without pedals, and since I don't really use a whole lot, it's no problem. And it actually that one show that I'm thinking of is one of our better shows. So I'm really picky what I put into this amp because it sounds so great. And what I really like about this amp and this cabinet together is that the bottom end is really good. Like I'm sitting right in front of it and I'm really playing soft right now, and it still like pushes me. I love the bottom end. So when I put pedals through it, I want to have that same sound, but with the characteristic of the pedal. And I'm not a really huge digital freak, so yeah, I like to keep the sound of the amp. So Gabriel with the clean boost, it's really cool because if we're playing shows and the sound man doesn't know what's going on with solos or whatnot, it's great to have control over everything, but to still have my sound. And I think that's what I really like about the Echo Park stuff. So that actually the clean boost, it really does sound exactly like the one that I've had for years. Let's see, the fuzz is going to be way different. So this is going to be a grittier fuzz, I think. Here we are straight. Oh, that's nasty. And so what you can do with that fuzz is you could run both channels together. So probably have the clean boost and the fuzz together. And as soon as I learn this one a little bit more, I'll bring it on again and play it because it's got a really good sound, and the clean boost already is great. So yeah, so back to effects because I got a couple questions from last week that were asking about effects. Anyway, now I'm on my real pedal board. So if you guys don't have any questions right now. Nope. Hey everybody. For those of you guys that just tuned in, I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar with the rock band Hero Jr. We've been together. I joined the band 8.5 years ago, and we've done about 850 plus shows across America. And you can check us out at Hero Jr. HEROJR on Instagram and www.herojuniormusic.com on the internet online. So I'll just go down the list. So first on my pedal board, and I don't think, well, anyway, I have the same list here. I don't think they're all going in this order, but the first on my pedal board is a Memory Man, Electro Harmonics from the 80s, end of the 80s. I think I found out that's when it's from. And I really like this delay because of the modulation on the tail. So it's just cool. Could hear that great through the laptop, but what's really cool about this delay is how it gets really dirty at the ends of them. And again, it really reacts good to volume. One of my favorite delays, and it's very simple and I like it a lot. Yeah, that's a great idea, running 2 amps. I mean, I'm a really simple dude when it comes to this stuff. Unless I've got a road crew and I can have a lot of shit on stage, I am so happy that in one pedal board that's pretty small and one amp, I get everything I need for touring, and it makes life easy. I can just plug in any mic, sounds good. And for me on stage, like, it also, the fact that it's really simple, it lets me play different. And I'm a pretty sensitive guitar player when it comes, if it doesn't feel right or if it doesn't sound right or something's wrong, I really suck. And it's been that way since I started playing guitar. I always remember, when I was in high school and playing someone else's guitar, I never played as good as on my guitar. And as I've just grown and played a lot, I really, this is my rig and it's super simple, and maybe things could be better, but I don't know. I love it the way it is right now. Just for rock, for blues. I mean, this guitar and this amp, it's all I need. So, but yeah. Anyway, next on my pedal board, I've got Gabriel at Echo Park's Clean Boost. It's just one knob. I have no idea what it does. It's called a harmonic boost, and I know that it's got, I think, about 16 to 18 dB gain. I run it almost all the way up most of the time. The amp obviously reacts different because I'm playing at a very low volume right now. 2 watts is enough for man. I mean, this is a 50-watt amp, but I've played huge places with this, and with the mic and side fills, it sounds like I've got 8 cabinets on stage. I got really lucky finding Orange before we started touring with the band. So like before, the Clean Boost is just straight up. Then I just hit that. It adds the boost, obviously, for solos, and it just gives it, like it says, it's a harmonic boost. It gives the tops just a little bit more. It sustains a little bit more. And best thing is it doesn't fuck with my amp at all, which is really, that's super important for me. So that's that. And then, okay, this is one of my favorite pedals. It's the Russian Green Muff. I use this most until I got my JHS, which I'm probably going to switch out on tour so I don't break my older stuff. But straight. Big Muff is killer. So, okay, you heard that. So this is the Crimson. So I'm going to switch them off and on next to each other, and it's really close. So those are both good. If you're a Muff fan and can't afford, I mean, I got mine when it was pretty new, but now that's like $600, and I think the Crimson cost under $200, and that is a really, really, really cool option. And then I think this is my Desert Island pedal. Like I said last week, someone asked me that question. I'm using a Phase 90. It's an old 70s one, and I mean, I just love it. One knob again, super simple, slowest phase. sounds ever. There's Blake. So, hey, dude.
Hello.
You're back.
I am back.
And you're not burning anymore.
Not anymore. They've taken us out of any sort of evacuation notice, so we're back to normal, whatever that means in 2020.
Yeah. Nothing. Did you get an old Jaguar?
I did not get an old Jaguar. I got a new Cyclone, which looks kind of like a Jaguar.
Oh wow! I didn't even notice that it was more of a Strat style.
Yeah, it's got the Strat pickups and trim, and then it's got it's a Squire, which you know, I'm used to thinking about Squires in the like 90s sense, where they're like coming with a starter pack or whatever.
Yeah.
This is a really nice guitar. The fit and finish on it's really good. I was like really surprised at how nice this thing was. But then again, I shouldn't be that surprised because the J Mascis Jazzmaster is really awesome, and that's a Squire. So
I love the way that we just walk on and start talking, and no one even knows who you are.
Just some dude shows up. Hey, what's up?
Hey, so everybody, this is Blake. He's got the Tone Mob podcast, associated websites, cool Instagram shit, everything. Check him out. He does great gear reviews and everything music tech. He's a real dude. So we've had him on since the COVID lockdown, since I've been doing this, and he's come on pretty much every week with a new fuzz. And today, something special you said? Was it?
I do have something kind of cool.
It's always cool.
Oh, I should have came prepared and took the back off of this thing, because this actually has some of my favorite guts ever. But it's the R3 distortion from 6 Degrees Effects. They're up in Canada, and I really should have took the back off of this first, but now I don't know where my screwdriver is. But go look up their Instagram, you can check it out. But this is their R3 distortion. It's their Rat. And so, as you know, those that are familiar with the Rat circuit, everyone's like, is it a distortion? Is it a fuzz? What is it? I'm like, yeah, it's kind of both. So it's got different clipping options. It just sounds really good. Obviously, it has a lot more available switching and different things you can do than a standard Rat. And it's also like super crazy solidly built. And inside, it's all point-to-point wired. It looks beautiful.
Hey, I can't see because of the glare. Is one of those knobs bigger than the other one?
Yes. Whoops. There it is. This knob.
Is that like a British joke?
Maybe so. I actually don't know why that knob is bigger, but it is. So
God made it that way.
That's right. So yeah, check out 6 Degrees Effects on Instagram. Ken really makes some. Hell, his name's Ken as well. Check that out.
Oh, cool.
He makes some really cool stuff, and I think he's very well respected amongst other pedal builders for the quality of his guts, because they're very beautiful.
Yeah, I want to check that out too. That's all. The logo looks like it could be on a pair of basketball shoes.
It kind of does, doesn't it? Oh, additionally, he's also got a company that just started here within, I think, the last year or so, called Gorva Design, and he's like bringing in like super high quality switches and different parts for other pedal builders. So he's doing a lot of things over there that are pretty interesting.
Cool. Where did you say he was located?
Canada, I believe.
Oh, Canada, right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You got anything coming up? Podcasts?
Yeah, I just dropped a podcast today with my friend Dewey from the Pure Pleasure podcast. He used to play in a band called Anatomy of a Ghost, and another band that's probably more people are aware of called Portugal the Man.
Oh, yeah.
And he has had a podcast for several years where he interviews. I mean, he's interviewed Chino from Deftones. He's interviewed Fat Mike from NoFX. Like, he's had a ton of people on there of note, and he's a really cool dude. And so we talked about his podcast, and we talked about his obsession with Sun amps and some other things and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, it was a fun time.
Do you have any Sun amps at your place?
I got a beta lead right over here. Yeah.
And those fuckers are so loud.
It's
So
it hurts.
like
But
I think I got any hearing damage when I was in high school. It was playing through people's sons' amps.
Mm-hmm.
Those were always the brutal ones.
They're just, this thing will shake the whole building. Like, it's so insane. But it's the Red Fang amp, so I had to get one. You know.
Oh, that's really cool. And you had low sounds on too, right?
Yes, we the podcast hasn't come out yet. It'll probably be here in a couple weeks. But yeah, Aisha and I talked for like 2 hours, and it went by super fast, and we had a great time. So
yeah, she's awesome.
She was amazing.
I think they're really awesome what they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We vibed really well. So thanks for introducing us.
Oh man, I can't wait to listen. When's that one coming out?
It'll probably be in 2 weeks or so, 2-3 weeks, somewhere in that ballpark.
Oh, cool. All right, man. Well, have a good week. Anything exciting going on?
I'm just cranking out more YouTube videos. So
you got one a day now for the rest of the month, right?
As long as there's no more fires, yes, I'm trying to do one a day for the rest of September. So
cool.
That's been an interesting process. Yeah, I didn't quite get to hit my goal, but I'm still cranking out a lot of content, so it's fine.
Right on, man. All right. Have a great week, and
Good.
I'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
See you, man. Lots of love. Bye. All right. Blake and the Tone Mob. Check out Blake's podcast. It really is cool. I met him, I think we met through Orange. He saw some of the band stuff on Orange Instagram, and we did a podcast, I think, in April. You can look that up. And we had a lot of fun. And so check out Blake it's at Tone Mob or The Tone Mob, I think. You can check on, and you can, usually the way that I get my questions, if you guys aren't writing questions here, is my Instagram is at mywarpedhalo, MYWARPEDHALO, and between that and the band site, there's a lot of cool guitar stuff. I think I have fun doing it anyway. All right, where were we on the pedal board? So we were at the phase, and I think this is really my favorite sound, with or without fuzz. This is just full I don't even know what you call it. Full vibration, I'll call it, on with just the OR50 straight. I'm a huge fan of Jimmy Page, especially the old stuff, and I think he used this pedal a bit. It's one of my favorite sounds. And then I've got down the road. So I am a huge tape echo fan, and I have 2 Echoplexes, and I use those on everything. I'm really vocals, but there's just no way to tour with those, and they're in my storage in London now. So I got the Echoplex from Jim Dunlop, and there's a couple things that are really, really good about this. One, it's small. It's small, 1 unit pedal size, and it's also got a tap tempo, which is really cool. So. And you can adjust it to be more modern or more vintage, and I've got it on the dirtiest setting. So this is what I've got it. So the regeneration is a little bit distorted. Cleans up really well. I love it on middle pickup. You can get that David Gilmour thing out of it too. really, really cool. It's got the tap tempo. It's got really good regeneration. Regeneration. That's the name I was looking for. So that is a real surprise pedal for me. I know there's a ton of delay stuff out there, and yeah, you guys should share in the comments too what gear you use. I always am looking to check stuff out. I'm really picky just for my own private taste, but I'm always looking for stuff, and it's always cool to get good gear recommendations. And this one, I mean, there are so many delay pedals out there. The good thing about this is that I could change the regeneration on it, and the sound, like from the modern to the vintage sound, which is a little bit more dirty. And I'm just a really big fan of dirty and all, kind of stuff that blends together in the name of analog. Yeah, I like it, and it's got the tap tempo, which playing live, it does really help because our band has a lot of dynamics, and we do a lot of middle eights that break down and go spacey, and so I'm really needing to change my tempo sometimes without bending down and doing it. There are a couple that I want to check out. I've heard that the Bunar is really awesome. That's something that I definitely want to check out. And I forget, but Blake's got a friend that does delays that they're a really good Echoplex copy that I want to check out. Okay, and then the last pedal on here is a CAE wah. I always played the normal Dunlop wah, and my mate over there at Dunlop said, check this one out. Oh, it's really weird playing a wah. I'm sitting on one of our vinyl merch cases, so I'm about a foot off of the floor. So let's see, but this is straight up with no other effects. Love this, and this is really good on clean stuff too. Sitting down playing a wall 1 foot above. Weird. And the cool thing about this wall too is it's got a gain, and there's a little bit more control over the tone. Oil can delays, yes, oil can delays. I use those mixing quite a lot, and those are really cool too. So I got a lot of questions about some recording stuff we can talk about, but yeah. Making your own delays and reverbs at home. I don't know how into recording some of you guys are, but depending on the space you have, it's really super easy to get that old style oil can sound. There's times where I've done it in a bathroom, even with like with the Mini Crush. You can take the Mini Crush and set it on clean, and if you've got either a mixer or a DAW that has a channel output, you can run, like for example, you could run the vocal through that and mic it up in a bathtub if you've got a tile bathtub or in a tile room, stuff like that. And yeah, oil can is a really good sounding trashy delay. That's really interesting. Thanks for that, Jeremy. questions that I got. Again, someone asked about strings. I just got strings question mark, and haven't changed strings since last week. I'm still using DNR Pure Blues 11s to 50s. My favorite strings of all the strings I've ever used. Yeah. The other question. Okay, this might be long. I don't know. Maybe it's interesting. All right, this is really funny. Actually, this made me laugh. So somebody listened to some of the live clips. We haven't been touring because of COVID, so we've been releasing some stuff just from the studio where we rehearse. And he said, "How do you get such good separation?" And it's really funny because, I'll show you. There is no separation. There's a couple baffles. So this is where we record our albums, and the whole first floor of the house is a studio, which is cool. And so this is it. And so I can kind of tell you about that. So live recording with separation. So Evan and Dave, bass player and singer, guitar player in the band, they are awesome woodworkers, and they built these really cool baffles. And so the only separation that I've got when recording the band right now is just two baffles. One is keeping my guitar out of the drum mics, and the other one is keeping Evan's guitar out of the drum mics and the bass as well. And we're not my favorite way to record, especially with our band, because we're pretty loud and there's a lot of energy there. So over the years, I have kind of learned that the best way to record us live is with keeping the drums in mono, with the bass and the vocals right with the drums. So all of that is coming out of the center. And then Evan and I are split hard left and hard right with the guitars. And I'm not using any extra reverb on the drums. I'm just using different kind of compression. And it's weird. I never would say it's separated. For me, like, I listen to a Tool record and it's like, that's separated. I really, the goal that we have when we're recording is that it's one unit that's, going together down the road. And I think, I'm always fascinated by that. Every time I split everything up into stereo, it just sounds too nice. And I really do love the fact that we've been able to record our new album here in the rehearsal space. That it's really cool, and that will be out in November, and we're gonna do a bunch of promotion and all kinds of stuff. So I'll definitely keep you guys posted. So it's that was a funny question, because separation, really, the main thing for me is that Evan and my guitars are really separate, hard left and hard right. And somehow we don't get we tried a lot of different stuff. And I think if you're recording at home, I think if you're good and you guys rehearse, you can make great music at home. We're a pretty hard working band. We play a lot of shows, and we really do rehearse when we're not touring for the most part. We're always getting together at least 3 days a week, whether we're on the road or not. And it really has shown making this record, because we've had so much fun experimenting, and we've been together for so long that we're really good friends, and that's all come through. And so being able to record at home, if you're in a band, it really does allow for some killer results. And if any of you guys want the last single, I can give it to you. If you give me a DM on my Instagram, I'll just give you a link, and you can have a single and you can hear. That was also recorded here. That was the first single off this record that's coming out in November. So, but it's just really fun, and most of the sound, it's coming from the band. I've got a mic on the kick. I've got 2 overheads that I blend in mono, 2 toms, one snare and a hi-hat, which I never use the hi-hat. It's just there in case for whatever reason I need it. And I really encourage you guys. You know, I've worked and had huge studios. I've worked in some of the best studios in the world, and I really think that this is the most fun that I've ever had recording, because we just come in every day and hit play and it's done. Everything's set up. Nothing really, we spent a bit of time tweaking at the beginning just to make sure, you know, that there were no phase problems. And so I really think for you guys, even if you're not in bands, really try if you can to learn how to record at home. There's so much cool shit you can do just at home. And now, with you can just sell your own stuff online. You don't need a record deal. You don't need any of the things that maybe 10 or 15 years ago you needed. You can just be creative and get that out to the people. So I know I cut that really short, but yes, that's how we record. And there was another question about recording, and it's really go for the moments. If you're in a rock band, the moment is so much more important to me personally than putting stuff together. And there are some great records that are made over the periods of 1 or 2 years where every little detail is tweaked. But for me, the bands that got me excited, especially the 60s and 70s bands that I love, that stuff it's all created. There's a lot of stuff going on in the moment, and the way to catch the moment is to record the moment. And there's breathing, there's noises. Like I think when you add all of that stuff up together, that's what makes a great record to me. That's what gives it sometimes a little more bottom or warmth. I don't gate the guitars. It's like my guitar's loud. If I'm gonna use a muff during a solo and I hit it right before, that happens. And I mean, it's totally cool to me anyway. So, and it's really fun because you listen to a record like that's made like that on headphones, and you notice something different every time because there's just noises. There's sticks dropping. There's sometimes, Ryan will break a stick in the middle of a song and grab a new stick. But if that's the take that feels really good, then, why not? So that's my take so far on how we're recording here. EP 103 is a placeholder till I can afford Echoplex. Yeah. Yeah, I used to have a full tone. The full tone I didn't like so much, but again, anything I say is just my personal taste. The full tone, it felt duller than an Echoplex. And I mean, Echoplex is my favorite effect of all time. I just love, I obviously, I got into that from listening to Jimmy Page use it. And I just think it's such a cool and easy to use box that you can get so many sounds out of it. And my little Echoplex pedal, I really, you know, I'm not picky. It's like that's really close. Just same with the fuzzes. I mean, if it feels good and the vibration feels good when I'm playing, you can't lie about that. And this little Echoplex is a great thing. Um, and what I'm gonna do too, the only thing that sometimes, because I'm jumping around on stage a bit, is my foot hits the knobs, and it's like sometimes I'll hit it around. It's like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? And you can just put little rubber pads underneath those, take them off, and put rubber pads on, and then they're really hard to turn. That's another good tip. If you guys have a lot of pedals and you're knocking the knobs, you can always unscrew the knob and put like a little rubber washer under it and then put it back on. Yeah. Bend Band. I guess that's a band that I need to check out, right? Am I reading it wrong because I don't have my glasses on? Yeah, if you guys like bands, if you guys have questions, always you can ask questions, songwriting questions, production, being in a band, touring. It's something I've done my whole life, and I was really lucky when I was growing up. I met some really cool people that gave me some insight because they were out there doing it. And I think it's really it's really fun to pass on information to people. And yeah, most of the stuff I've learned has been by going out there and doing it. So you just got to go out and do it. So I'll play a little bit. I'm gonna use nothing because that's why the amp sounds so good. Yeah, so if you have any questions, oh yeah, Dean Del Rey is the dude. If you guys like podcasts, comedy, and someone that really has his way around the history of music, if you haven't heard Let There Be Talk, I can give that 5 stars for sure. Dean's an awesome dude. He's a really, really funny comedian. He's a good actor, and he has a great way talking to musicians and people that make stuff by hand. He's got a really good handmade special. So if you're a podcast person, look up Let There Be Talk. He's had some really, really cool people on there, from people that make leather goods by hand all the way up to, he's had Rudy Sarzo on there. He's got Tool on there right now. Anyway, really good podcast. So yes, Dean Del Rey, badass dude. Yeah, I guess we're about headed towards the end. You guys don't have a whole, yeah. Gotta love Joey. Church of What's Happened. He's gonna do something, I'm sure. I mean, I haven't listened to that one for a while. I know he moved. I'm pretty sure he moved back to New Jersey, but yeah, Joey's awesome. He's really awesome. He's also really funny. And Dean's had Joey on, and Joey's been on Dean's podcast. Anyway, really cool shit. Maybe there's one question. Let's see what else I have from last week that I didn't get to. Oh, this one will take too long. I'll do this next week. This one's from David J. Where do you get your ideas from for lyrics? We can talk more about songwriting next time, because we're a couple minutes out here. So yeah, anyway, I'm Ken Rose. I play guitar for the rock band Hero Jr. Really glad you guys hung out today. You can check out the band www.herojrmusic.com, and Hero Jr. is HEROJR, and we've got a new album coming out in November, and we're going to be releasing a lot of live stuff from right in here, which is going to be really cool, and we're really excited to share all of that stuff with you guys. So I'll see you guys next week on Orange Hangs. We do this every Monday, 4:00 p.m. Eastern, and bring your good vibes and your questions, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a great week and lots of love. See you guys.